back to Limabean Living. If you guys are new here, my name is Emily. Welcome to my little motherhood channel. In today's video, I am going to be reorganizing my mother-in-law's cabinets and drawers for her kitchen, and we're going to be doing all Dollar Tree products, so let's go shopping. Okay, so I got a lot of stuff. It was just me in there and I was trying to get out of there as fast as possible, so I didn't film too much in the store, but I will show you a haul now. All right, so bear with me. I have Aubrey in the background and I'm trying to film. I got a whole bunch of these fridge storage bins. I really like them because they have a little handle and they're fairly wide, but also kind of narrow at the same time. I know, very descriptive. I got a lot and I don't expect to use all of them, but I wanted to make sure I got some for me too. I got 4 of these big containers for basic things like flour, big things of sugar, just so we have a uniform look. And then I got these kind of oval baskets. We're going for like a black and white type of feel. And I thought these could be used for towels or even like fill them up with some type of greenery as like a decoration for in the cupboard. I got some of these to keep out like near the coffee, something for her fridge in case she wants to like store eggs and have it be a little bit prettier. I got one of these things just because they are multi-purpose and I know that we'll probably be able to find a good use for it. They also had these nice long baskets. So I got 4 of them. Again, we're going with a black and white feel, so I got black and white contact paper as well as this kind of marbly look in case we need any of this kind of more sticky, foamy liners for the cupboards. I got some black baskets here, and something I'm gonna try, and I'll let you guys know if it works, is use a whiteout pen to label or like mark these baskets, and hopefully it will be able to like erase. So this is gonna be something I'm worth trying, but if not, I've got labels to label these baskets. I also got some like pseudo command strip hook things, and my hope is that I'll be able to hang these guys in a cupboard, maybe holding some spices. I also got some of these dowels in hopes of storing spices in a different way, so I'm gonna see if I can make these work. If not, they're great for crafts. Again, I'm gonna try a different DIY for the spices. It's kind of like a DIY for the spice video because I'm gonna see what I can make work. I'm gonna see if I can bend this in a way to easily display the spices. I got 4 of these, the smaller little cereal containers, but we can put noodles in here or something else. And then a smaller version. And then a smaller version of this type of basket. So that was my major haul. Like I said, black and white themed. We're going for just trying to keep the containers consistent. She loves her light switches. We're trying to keep them as consistent as possible because that will give it a very organized look. When you have too many different types of containers, it just gives it a more messy feel. So that's our goal. We're gonna work on that actually later tonight because during Aubrey's nap, we're gonna be visiting some other family. So it's gonna be probably a lot darker in here when you guys are seeing how these turned out. But you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll film the before right now. I'll film the process. And then I'll show you the after in this similar lighting, but tomorrow. So this is the cupboard near the fridge, and so I'm gonna make this a drink station. They've already kind of moved it around to have it this way, so that works out perfect. We're gonna have the coffee here, and down here we're gonna have some things for the coffee, maybe some coffee pods or whatever is needed in those cupboards. Then we have our stove, and in these cupboards up here, we're gonna have more cooking stuff, spices, dinner like side dishes, things like that, because that is typically what you use the stove for, and so why not have it right next door. On the other side of the kitchen, across from the stove and near the sink, and what will be a lot of counter space when we're done, is gonna be all the baking stuff and all the flour and the sugar and anything that you would just need a lot of counter space to make. That way you're just taking it down, using it, and putting it right back up. So as you guys can see, it's already pretty organized. There really isn't like much mess, but I'm gonna see if I can just make it look even better, I guess. That's my challenge. In these drawers next to the stove, I'm gonna have utensils that you would normally cook with. That way they are right next door when you need to grab them and use them. Right now, they're actually way over here in like this drawer next to the sink. And so we're just gonna free up a bunch of space and make better use of this. Maybe this might be a good little drawer for some towels because we're right next to the sink and we need to grab a towel really quick. The towels are currently over here. So we're just gonna kind of move things around so that it flows a little bit better while you're in here working. And then this cupboard, I probably don't plan on touching too much, probably just kind of relining things up, but this is typically where they keep their plates and cups. And then we have the clean dishes that need to be put away and utensils in this drawer. So I'm gonna keep this little section kind of the same, maybe move some of the cups as long as they're like coffee cups over to the drink station, but this probably won't be touched. One other thing I wanna note before I actually get to work tonight is when we're dealing with shelves like this, you really want to bring everything as low as possible because that way it's reachable. We can always probably take another shelf from another cupboard and put it up top if necessary, but up top is where we're gonna keep the things that aren't used too much, and we might even put like that black little bin with some succulents or some greenery to give it a fresh feel, but we're not gonna be touching the top as often. So we really wanna bring everything down so that it is not too far away. So the other thing I'm gonna do while we're kind of waiting to go visit family and then, you know, waiting to start the pantry / closet organization, I'm gonna try that little whiteout pen on the baskets and see if it holds up nice, but also cleans up nice. Okay, so I've taken it out of the package, we shake it up, and I'm gonna test it out on the bottom of the container. In case it ruins it, I'd rather not mess up the sides. That way we can just use the labels that I bought. If you have a different type of basket, I was planning on using a kind of removable Sharpie marker, but I couldn't find it. So I'm kind of happy that we're trying this new thing out and hopefully it will work out well. So I'm just kind of squeezing this. It's been a while since I used a whiteout pen. Oh, okay. So we're just gonna like write. It definitely comes out really quick. What I might have to do is just kind of create a pile somewhere and then write, dab it, write. So we'll give this a try. Let's let this dry. So it dried in like 30 seconds, well, except for that really thick part, but anywhere that was like lightly written, it's nice and dry now. It doesn't come off. And looks like you can scratch it off with your finger. Probably use like rubbing alcohol or like hand sanitizer, but this looks like it's gonna work. All right, so I got one of these cooling racks and my hope is that I can bend it so that I can put it in the drawer, have spices lay on it, and then have spices lay on it again. So I need to bend between these two horizontal bars so that I have like a little like, I don't know, spice holder. So my first goal is to just bend this on itself. And hopefully this is successful, but if not, it's just $1 wasted. So far, so good. Cleaned out a drawer just to kind of get a test run. The folding seems to have worked. Now, obviously, it's a little shaky, but it is a test run. So I can try to figure out exactly the best way to deal with this. But let's go ahead and grab some spices and just see if it does what I want it to. If I secure this, I would have spices laying kind of like this. And it looks like that size will be too big, but that size will be perfect. So when you're looking in a drawer like this, maybe this would go all the way to the back and then we can have something in the front. But the great thing is then you really see all of the spices kind of up at you as you're cooking and you can see what you're grabbing. The other nice thing is underneath here, we can store something to just kind of, keep tucked away. Maybe there's extra stuff or, a utensil that you don't use that often. But I am optimistic about how this will turn out. Good morning, you guys. So last night we redid all of the drawers and we have some pretty cool befores and afters. And then today we are going to be working on the cabinets. I'm hoping to get it all done. Lucky for me, I have a little bit of help. We have Sophia over here, my niece. She's going to be helping me clean up some of the cupboards and just turn this place into that over-the-top look. So this drawer has a pretty big turnaround because we got rid of a lot of extra silverware. And then we have some plastic stuff back here. If in the future we need to put something back here, one of these doesn't quite fit, it's a little tight, and so you can just have like maybe a rolling pin or just something that's extra long and needs some space. So right next to the sink we have our towels. I have one of these bigger, longer baskets that are filled so that maybe we can just kind of easily take it out if it's necessary for extra cleaning or just easy removal. And I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this space, if I want to just have towels also filled in, and then maybe this one, once these towels are dirty and used, we can just pull this up so that it's easy access. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure this one out. Here we have like baking stuff or just things that you would use to like open cans, do the limes or lemons. These might get moved depending on what I find in the cabinets. And then we've got just some measuring spoons and then some little peelers. This is a measuring spoon or a measuring cup, but it seems more like a serving spoon, so it might get moved. Then we have our knives. I'm reusing this guy. We washed it and just kind of organized the knives based on what fit and the type of style of the knife it was. And then in this one we have wax paper, foil, and bags. This might get changed a little bit. And then in these two drawers that are next to the stove, I've kind of separated a bunch of spoons and tongs. And then we have kind of forks and spatulas and then some of the extra plastic spoons because those ones probably aren't as sturdy as these metal guys. And then in these drawers, this is kind of undecided. I'm still kind of working on this, but this is gonna be our beverage drawer. We have some stirring spoons and then some spoons for these little containers that I picked up that are gonna hold either sugar or instant coffee. We're gonna make good use of them. Unfortunately, they don't fit in here. It doesn't quite close, but if we wanted to, we could take off the lid and just have a little jar that will hold something and then it would be fine. So that is something to keep in mind. You don't always have to keep the lids on. this shelf right here only had one shelf in this entire cupboard, and I really wanted to make use of more of the space, so I decided I'd find use for those rods. They were too short to really help me with any other project, so I figured I'd try to combine them by putting them through the handles of this basket and then shoving them in the holes in the little wall for the little things that hold the actual shelves, and they fit perfectly. And then I taped them together with some stickers, and now we have another little workable basket for additional storage. So we have our little coffee station here. Right now we're just drinking instant coffee, so we have instant decaf and instant regular coffee. And then in this little container we have the little Mexican chocolate to make hot cocoa. And then in this container I'm thinking about putting this like cocoa chocolate something powder meal replacement stuff, but his mom isn't here and she's the one who drinks it. So once she gets home, I'm just gonna approve it from her, and we're gonna fill this up so that it gives it a nice like cohesive look rather than having containers open. I also like to leave a mug in the coffee pot, and if you have like a seasonal mug, it's the perfect time to put it out and you can have your house have additional decorations. Then again, in the drawers, I've kind of rearranged some things. We've added some tea. My niece Sophia helped fill this up and organize it for me. We have straws for the drinks, little corkscrews and stuff, and then some stirring spoons. I have the little twin mug from the one that's at the coffee pot with some additional coffee grounds for if we bring out the other coffee maker. Same with the little filters. And then this cool little container holds some sugar, so we don't have to get out the other bigger one. So then in this drawer, we actually just store all of the mugs that are unique and don't have like a set, because when they're in the cupboard, they give it a more of a cluttered look. And so here we can tuck them away. They're right next to the drawer for the drinks, and everything's in the same spot. Coming up here, we have all of the uniform mugs and then 2 additional glass mugs. Some other mugs that have like more than one in the set, or that just kind of go together, or that were too large to fit in the drawer. And then we have the alcoholic drinks way up top. Then we have our little snack station. This is where they tend to keep most of their snacks, so I really didn't touch that. Right next to the stove, I wanted to make sure we had all the spices, so they are in these nice little pull-out containers so that you can get what you need, you can look for it and put it back, and you're not pulling everything out and then having to put it all back. We have some things for hot pans, and then also some command hooks that I got from the Dollar Tree just to hold the oven mitts. We have some more snacks, kind of more of the bulkier items, and things that you would make with a meal. So like pancake mix is for breakfast, but they also have things for dinner. And then way up top, we have our larger pots. And one thing I wanted to make sure was to move the shelves as far down as possible to really have everything as close as possible so that we're not super reaching way up top to get what we need. In this cupboard, there was an exception for that rule because we had something that was really heavy. I didn't want to then put this additional makeshift shelf way up top because that would make it extra difficult to get to. And to be honest, I'm still working on this countertop, and this is probably the last you'll see of it, just because we are still trying to figure out what to do with all the produce and where to find room for some of these extra containers. So when this is all clear, this is where I envision the baking will be done, the chopping will be done. It's the most counter space. So I wanted to make sure we had all of the stuff that you would cook with or need to use that space for. We also have some snacks up here, and then way up top we have the extra napkins and towels and their waffle maker and their little hand blender. Okay, I was kidding. I cleaned off this counter. Keeping with the baking theme, we have the masa for the tamales, the sugar, some oats and the flour, and then some other like random miscellaneous baking items. Then we have the medicines and vitamins and the chilies. And then we have all this stuff is related to drink stuff. So we have their soda machine, the additional coffee maker, a juicer, and the NutriBullet, and the NutriBullet's items that go along with it. So I did end up keeping this cabinet pretty much untouched. I did make some additional room for the paper plates, and these plates were in a different drawer. So we did fit a little bit more in here, but we made it work. And I'm not gonna lie, these cabinets here still need to be gone through, but I didn't buy enough liners for the shelves, so I figured I'll just take care of that the next time. But we did go through this one. This one actually had a bunch of pasta and noodles, and I cleaned that out so that the food would actually go up in the cupboards with the other food. And here we have a little kettle and the rice cooker. So I am officially exhausted. You can tell by my hair how hard I worked. I guess that's just gonna be the new normal. As I've said in many previous videos, these wispies are not going away anytime soon. But anyways, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I think my mother-in-law will be happy too. She's not here at the moment, but I'm excited to see her reaction when she finally gets a chance to see it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Woohoo! You've made it to the end of the video. If you didn't know already, my name is Emily from Limabean Living. Welcome. We are so happy to have you. We post videos every Monday and Friday on a variety of content: lifestyle, cooking, cleaning, military life, DIYs, encouraging mathematical development in children, and so much more. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time.